Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
So today we are starting the module 5. Module 5 is completely the transforms. Okay. And so you no need to write anything now. So this is just the introduction of the transforms. After introduction, you can start solving the problem. In the earlier models, we have seen Fourier transforms. Okay. Fourier transforms. So Fourier transforms, for what purpose we are taking the transform. See, the signal in time domain is converted into a frequency domain. Why we are converting the signal from time domain into frequency domain? Because the analysis of the signal is very easy in frequency domain compared to the time domain. Because of that reason, we take the Fourier transforms. So Fourier transform is also available, Fourier series is also available. Or depending upon the type of the signal, we choose the appropriate series or transforms. Fourier series is used for the periodic signal and Fourier transform is used for the aperiodic signal. And in FT, you have again two terms, two types, CTFT and DTFT. Okay, CTFT and DTFT. So up to this, you have studied in the earlier semester, earlier modules. So now in this module, we are going to discuss about the Z transform. So Z transform, I can say it is an extension of DTFT. Okay, you should understand it. Z transform, it is nothing but it is an extension of DTFT. So Z transform is not applicable for continuous time signal. That is important point. It is applicable for the discrete time signal. So the first point about Z transform is Z transform is also a transform which is used to convert the time domain signal into frequency domain signal. But the difference of this transform with respect to Fourier transform is it is a higher version. It is a higher version of DTFT. So you can ask me a question, why we should go for higher version of Fourier transform? Because we have some problems in existing DTFT. So that problems can be overcome with the help of the highest version of DTFT called Z transform. Okay. So the first important characteristic is Z transform I can apply to a wider class of signals. Okay, wider class of signals. See, for example, DTFT I can apply to some type of signals, not for all the signals. Whereas Z transform can be applied to any type of signals, right? So this is the first important characteristics of Z transform. Why? You can ask me why we can apply Z transform to any type of signal, because my Z transform will converge. Okay, Z transform will converge, whereas the DTFT will not converge. You know what is the meaning of converge? Right? So the first point about Z transform is Z transform is also a Fourier transform, but it is an extension version of discrete time Fourier transform. And Z transform can be applied to wider class of signals than DTFT, because DTFT does not converge, whereas the Z transform converge. So we will see what is the meaning of convergence, region of convergence in the problems. Okay, and this is the basics for the next semester subject called DSP. And one more thing, other than Fourier transform and Z transform, we have one more transform that is called as a Laplace transform. Okay, so you should know what is the difference between the Z transform and Laplace transform. So Z transform is the discrete time counterpart of Laplace transform. Discrete time counterpart of Laplace transform. And applications of Z transform is we can study the system characteristics. So the characteristics of the system can be easily studied with the help of Z transform. And see, in the next semester in DSP, you will be drawing the structure of the system. Structure of the system means, see, for example, I will just draw one structure like this. So Z inverse, and I'm having one more Z inverse. So, so everything is going to some variable A, Similarly, I can add the ladder-like structures like this. So this complete thing constitute a structure. So I can design the structure of the system easily with the help of Z transform. So whereas the designing the structure of the system using the other transforms are very difficult. So now you should know only this point. We can use a Z transform for designing the structure. So now we are going to discuss some related expressions of Z transform. So I'm just starting with this x of n. I said Z transform is only for the discrete time signals. So x of n is equal to, I'm taking z power n. I have mentioned here, consider applying a complex exponential input. But if you see here, z is not a complex. Uh, so in turn, z will be equal to e power term. So just looking this equation, you cannot say that z is a complex exponential, but z's expression is e power j omega. So instead of writing e power j omega n, I am writing z power n. So this equation says that my input is a complex exponential. So I am applying the signal x of n to a discrete time LTI system. You know what is LTI? Linear time invariant system with the impulse response h of n. Then the output of the system is given by, so you know you have a system here. The system is having impulse response h of n, and I want the output y of n. So y of n is nothing but, you know, it is nothing but the convolution of the input. Input is x of n. Convolution of input with h of n. So y of n is equal to h of n convolution with x of n. See, out of these two signals, any signal we can keep constant, the other signal we can write in shifted version. So I will keep h of n as h of k, x of n as x of n minus k. So if you remove this convolution, it becomes summation of h of k, x of n minus k. Okay. See, now this x of n minus k, can you just compare the question and tell me how can we write this x of n minus k in terms of z? Can anybody guess and tell me? Is it easier to represent x of n minus k in terms of z?
Z for n minus k, ma'am.
Very good, because we have taken x of n is equal to z power n. So because of that reason, x of n minus k can be written in terms of z power n minus k. Okay. So now the next step is outside the summation, if something is constant, we can move it out. So this summation is only for k. So I can move z power n outside. You know, you need to split this z power n minus k, z power n into z power minus k. So we will take it out, then summation h of k z power minus k. Okay. Then the next step is, if you see here in the screen, you know left hand side is y of n only. So y of n, we know it is convolution of h of n into x of n. So this equation I can write in a simplest way. So z of n, we will be keeping it as z of z power n only, whereas the summation h of k z power minus k can be written in terms of h of z. So this we are doing by our own. Okay. So we are just writing this complete summation h of k z power minus k as h of z, capital H of z. So in the next line, I have written where h of z is equal to, h of z is equal to, I know this complete term, summation k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity h of k z power minus k. So now if you see the left hand side with h of capital H of z, this says that it is z transform. Z transform of the input h of k. H of k is originally h of n. So h of z is nothing but the z transform of the input h of n. So always after taking transform, you should write with a capital variable. See here, capital H of z. This is a transformed version, which is equal to summation of h of k z power minus k. I think you people have studied in mathematics the transform. Have you studied or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so all these formulas you are aware of, right, already? Okay. So now from the previous equation, my h of z is with the summation subscript k, means k is the limit where everywhere is k. So instead of k, I can replace with n because my input is always in terms of n. Impulse response is in terms of n. So I can replace k in this equation with n. So I will get h of z is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity h of n z power minus n. So this is my equation 1. This equation 1 is nothing but z transform of the impulse response h of n. Any doubts up to this? Okay,
No, ma'am.
fine. So now the next thing is, see the z transform of the input x of n I can write like this also. So I am taking, see for example, my input is x of n. After taking z transform, it is capital X of z. So this x of n, if I want to take the z transform, I can write like this also. Z transform of x of n, which is nothing but capital X of z, is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n z power minus n. So in the previous equation, we have seen the z transform for h of z. So h of z was equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity small h of n z power minus n, right? So I want the z transform for my input also. Earlier we got the z transform for the impulse response. Now we want the z transform for the input x of n. So we are writing this equation by ourselves. If x of n is the input, then its z transform is x of z is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n z power minus n. So in the very first line itself, we have told z is nothing but a complex exponential term. So here I am just writing it. So in terms of complex exponential term, see, I have told in the very first initially I have told here z is a complex exponential, input is a complex exponential, but here I have not shown in terms of e power. So instead I have taken z power. So now I am going to write my z in terms of e. So always your z is in terms of exponential term. So here z is a complex variable. I am writing z is a complex variable which is given by r into e power j omega. So r is nothing but your magnitude and this omega is nothing but your phase. See, can anybody tell me why I have used this omega instead of w type omega? Anybody?
Digital signal.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay. So if you understand the things, you no need to get confused with the variables used. Okay. So it's a digital signal. So we are using this ohms omega. So this can be expanded. E power j omega can be expanded as r is a magnitude. So that will come for the complete equation. So r into cos omega plus j r into sin omega. You know, e power j omega is cos omega plus j sin omega. So this we are just expanding it. We will get the equation like this. So then this complete term I will call real of z. Left hand side we have z, right? So this is nothing but real of z plus j, and this r into sin omega is nothing but the imaginary of z. So all this derivation you should write in your notes. I will upload this notes to you in the classroom app. You have to write this introduction part of the transform. See, sometimes in the exam they may ask you to write a short notes on Z transform with the related equations or expressions. So that time you should be knowing all this. Okay. So now what I am doing is I am substituting Z is equal to R into e power j omega in equation 2. You know what is your equation 2? Our equation 2 is nothing but the Z transform of the input x of n, small x of n. So this is my equation. In this equation, I am going to substitute wherever Z is there, I am just substituting R into e power j omega. Okay. So that is the work I am doing here. So if I substitute, I'll be getting capital X of R into e power j omega is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n. So you had in the previous equation 2 z power minus n. So we are writing z as R into e power j omega the whole power minus n. Okay. So now we will just split this power. So we can write it as R power minus n and e power minus j omega n. So after splitting it, I will keep this exponential term separate. So within the bracket, I can write x of n into r power minus n. So this is your equation 3. See, why we are doing all this thing is I want to prove Z transform is equal to DTFT at some condition. When I started this module, I said Z transform is an extension of DTFT. So here I am going to prove Z transform will be equal to DTFT at certain condition. So that I am going to prove here. Okay. So what is the condition I should apply is, I should apply the condition as R is equal to 1. So you know where R is present in the previous equation. I am just showing you the equation 3. So in equation 3, wherever R is there, I will be substituting 1. If I substitute 1, I will rewrite my equation 3 as e power j omega, x of e power j omega is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into e power minus j omega n. So can you just check your notes DTFT in module 4? Can you just verify whether is this the formula we have used for finding the DTFT?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So can I say that DTFT is equal to Z transform at what condition? Can anybody? Just now I have told. At what condition? I have assumed R is equal to 1. Am I right? R is equal to 1. I have assumed R is equal to 1. Then I got my equation 3 like this. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
See properly the formula of DTFT. I think it is little different. Check it. Is it same? X of e power j omega equal to summation n equal to minus infinity plus infinity. X of n e power minus j omega. Is it the same equation? DTFT?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, fine. So
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
yeah, now, okay. So I got this equation when I substituted R is equal to 1 in equation 3. Okay. My equation 3 is nothing but Z transform equation. In the Z transform equation, I have substituted R is equal to 1. I got this equation. So I can conclude here x of e power j omega, which is nothing but DTFT, which is equal to capital X of Z, that is nothing but the Z transform. At what condition? When Z is equal to e power j omega. So sometimes in the exam, okay, they will ask you to find out DTFT. So you can find out DTFT using the formula of DTFT. Later, they will ask you to find out Z transform. So what is the only work you have to do? I'm sorry. They will ask you to find out x of z. So this is the hierarchy. Okay. They will ask you to find out x of z. That means z transform. After finding z transform, they will ask you to find out DTFT. So tell me how to convert this x of z into DTFT. I have written the condition here. So this is the condition to be applied. So what is the condition I have written? See, left hand side is DTFT. DTFT is equal to Z transform when Z is equal to e power j omega. That means what? After finding x of z, if I want to convert this into DTFT, what I have to substitute in x of z?
E power
In
j
place
omega.
of Z, we have
E power j omega. Papa. I got the answer. Okay, fine, very good. So this is the relation. So as I started with the beginning, Z transform is an extension of DTFT. So we can get the DTFT with the help of the transform. The transform formula, you know, x of z. X of z is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of n z power minus n. I will use this formula to get z transform. After getting the z transform, I can get DTFT also by replacing z with e power j omega. That's it in the answer. So all these things we will be discussing in the problem. Just you need to know now how these two things are compared. DTFT and z transform. Okay. So the next thing is, I told in the beginning itself, DTFT does not converge, whereas your Z transform will converge. So the condition for convergence we will be discussing now. So to discuss the condition, first I am taking x of n is your discrete time signal. If I take the Z transform for that, I will get x of z. So I am just writing the formula of x of z, which is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of n z power minus n. And you know very well what is z. Z is nothing but r into e power minus, r into e power plus j omega. So now we are replacing z with r into e power j omega. So after substituting here, you can arrange x of n and r power minus n within the bracket and this e power term as separate term. So this is your equation 4. So in this equation 4, we have this part, right? Summation x of n r power minus n. That will help us to write the condition for the convergence. So in this equation 4, we have summation, as I said earlier. So summation n is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of n r power minus n, leaving this exponential, okay? That if that is less than infinity, then we can say this complete summation must converge. It will converge. So you should take the magnitude of x of n into r power minus n. So in the exam, they will ask you to write the condition for region of convergence, ROC. This is also called as ROC. So region of convergence. So you should write summation n equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of n r power minus n. Its magnitude, if it is less than infinity, then we will call it as the integration is or the summation. Sorry, the summation is convergible, and as well the range of this R for which this complete condition is satisfied, that is called as region of convergence. So this is just the introduction of Z transform. So we will solve the problem. So I have taken example problems from the prescribed book. So we start with the easier problems. So take down the question. Determine the Z transform of the signal and its region of convergence if just take down the question. X of n is equal to 1 when n is equal to minus 1. X of n is equal to when n is equal to 0. It is minus 1 when n is equal to 1, and it is 1 when n is equal to 0, 0 otherwise. So after determining the Z transform, here they have given one more additional question. Use the transform to determine the DTFT of x of n. Use the transform to determine the DTFT of x of n. If you have copied the question, just let me know. Is it copied?
Yes.
Okay. So finding Z transform, as you said, you have already studied in mathematics. So you need to just use the formula. X of z is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of n z power minus n. So this summation's original limit is minus infinity plus infinity. But as per our values of n from the question, I can expand it as See, the first value of n is -1. So x of -1 into z power minus n. Here already we have -1, so minus minus becomes plus. So in the same way, I will be substituting the next value of n as 0. X of 0 into z power 0. Similarly, the next value is 1. So x of 1 z power minus 1. Similarly, x of 2 z power minus 2. So after writing this, you can substitute the value of x of -1. So x of -1 is 1 and x of 0 is 2 and x of 1 is -1 and x of 2 is 1. So substitute the value. So after substituting the value, you will get the equation like this. X of z is equal to, so you can see the equation, z plus 2 minus z inverse plus z power minus 2. This is your answer. See, it's better you can arrange in the proper order. So constant term can be put first and followed by the z terms. So z plus, then z power minus 1 plus z power minus 2. So when you write your answer, all z terms you write it together and then keep this number separately. So this is not the answer. One more question they have asked in the question. We need to find DTFT from x of z. So when I was discussing the theory part of this z transform, I have given a condition. So I just write down the condition. X of e power j omega is nothing but your DTFT. That will be equal to x of z at what condition? X of z at what condition? When z is replaced with e power j omega. Okay. So already I got my x of z. Now from this I want x of e power j omega. So what I should do? I should replace z as e power j omega. So if I replace it, I will get the DTFT. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is the relation between Z transform and DTFT. Okay. Both are for discrete time signal and both are converting the input from time domain into frequency domain. There is a small difference between the two. The small difference is your DTFT is applicable only for certain group of signals because it will not converge. Whereas the transform can be applied to any type of signal because it will converge. And Z transforms are better than DTFT because Z transform can be easily used to draw the structure of the system. Okay. So structure of the system you will be studying in detail in the next year. Or let me see whether in this module they have given any problems for drawing the structure. So that time you will understand it better. So now we just take on the question, example 7.2. These we have taken from the prescribed textbook. 7.2, determine these. These are all the simple problems. So later on we will solve the complicated problems. So in module 5 you have Z transform as well as inverse Z transforms. So you have number of problems in this module. So with that your complete signals and systems is completed. So determine Z transform of the signal. X of n is equal to alpha power n u of n. Depict the region of convergence and location of poles and zeros of x of z in Z plane. So they have given some more extra things to be done in this. So first let us find the Z transform for x of n. You know the formula. X of n is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n z power minus n. So substitute. You have to change the limits because u of n is given in the question. So 0 to infinity, x of n is alpha power n, z power minus n. So you know what is the next step to be done? Powers, you can take common. So this is in the form of standard formula from mathematics. summation n is equal to 0 to infinity alpha power n is equal to 1 by 1 minus alpha. So I'm just applying that condition formula here. So x of z is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. In place of alpha, we have alpha into z power minus 1. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, the next step is further how much we can simplify. So z inverse we can write in this fashion, alpha by z. Then you can take the LCM and you can write your final answer as z by z minus alpha. So now the question they have mentioned, you need to find the region of convergence. So listen everyone, this is very important. To find the region of convergence, listen. See, you should not take the final answer after simplification. You should take the term which is unsimplified. As soon as you submit the formula, you will be getting the answer, right? So that answer you should consider for finding the region of convergence. Okay, so here I have applied the formula, so I got the term like this. See, this term, alpha into z inverse, I should take it as a reference. Alpha into z inverse, when I compare this denominator, 1 minus of alpha into z inverse. Can I say this alpha into z inverse is less than 1? Less than 1 because the number 1 is greater minus of the smaller number. So can I say alpha into z power minus 1 is less than 1? Can I say like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that's why I told before simplification, as soon as you apply the formula, you have to take the term from the denominator along with this 1. So since the number 1 is greater, okay, this number alpha into z power minus 1 is always smaller than this one. So I have written the condition here in the screen. You have to write down in your notebook like this. So then this I have to rewrite it. So alpha is less than 1 by z inverse. That z inverse in the product form, it will become division form at the right hand side. Okay. So now z inverse I can move it up. So when I move it up, I will write alpha is less than z. Am I right? Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now if alpha is less than z, I want to conclude my condition with z as the first term. So z is greater than alpha. So this you have to highlight in the exam. This will identify about the region of convergence in the problem. So I want everyone to conclude your answer as not alpha less than z. You should write with z as the first term. So z is greater than alpha. So if z is greater than alpha, you can see in the screen. So I have to draw the region of convergence diagram as per the question. See here, you have z plane. This is z plane. Your x-axis is always real of z, and y-axis is always imaginary of z. Okay, x-axis is real of z, y-axis is imaginary of z. See, since I got the condition z is greater than alpha, you just draw a unit circle. This is called as unit circle. Okay, unit circle means normally you will take the radius of 1 centimeter from the scale and you just draw a circle. It is always called as unit circle. So I should just show the region of convergence outside the circle when my z is greater than alpha. See, z is greater. Greater means I'll be having the region of convergence outside the circle. Are you people understanding it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See now, I have a question to you. Suppose if z is less than alpha, then what will be the changes in the diagram? Any guesses? The dashed lines will come where it is. It will come. I will just
Left side.
It is not left side. I am just drawing the new diagram for the condition which I have given. So the region of convergence will be inside the circle. Okay. So please understand this. We will come across this type of convergence in the next remaining problems.